I'm Chef Diana from Lancaster Local Provisions, and today I'm making an apple and rhubarb crumble. So I'm really excited. Rhubarb is finally in season. This is what it looks like. It grows sort of out of the ground like this with really big elephant ear shaped leaves. And today I'm pairing it with apple because rhubarb has a really tart flavor. And so to pair it with apple, you don't have to use as much sugar in this crumble, and it adds a nice balance. So I have 1 pound of rhubarb that I've cut into chunks. Now this might look like a really big piece of rhubarb for a crumble, but it will completely sort of dissolve and create its own sauce while it's baking. And it's okay, even if you see green parts of the rhubarb, you're still gonna put that in the crumble as well. But I like a crumble because it's not a pie, it's just so much easier, and it seems like you made as much effort as making a pie. Not that pies are that hard either. So I have a pound of rhubarb cut up here. Then I have a pound of apples. It's about 4 apples. I'm gonna mix that in there. It's gonna make a nice big crumble. And then I have a cup of sugar. Now you can add a little bit more sugar if you like things sweet. You can add less sugar if that's what you're into. I'm gonna use a dash of my lemon vinegar because I'm out of lemons today. But you can add a squeeze of lemon in. It will help to sort of get all the juices flowing in there. And then I really like pairing the cardamom spice with apples and rhubarb. It adds this really wonderful flavor and it melds really well. If you're not that into cardamom, you can still use our Autumn Harvest blend from Calcut Spices. That's a blend of different cinnamons and cloves. So I'm gonna do a little bit of both. You wanna add about a tablespoon full of spice. So I'm doing 1.5 of my cardamom, and then I'm gonna do 3/4 cardamom and then 1/4 cinnamon. So much math sometimes. Okay, and then I'm gonna do a pinch of salt, even though it's a pastry. It'll actually make it taste sweeter. Put that aside, and then I'm gonna use a spoon to get it all mixed in together. What's great about a crumble is you can really do it with most fruits. And it's so simple. We're doing an oat crumble on top. You can just do a flour crumble on top. You can even make biscuits and put it on top. And everything just sort of cooks on its own. You don't have to make pastry. And it's very impressive. Oh, this smells so good. I wish you could smell this. And if you do have cardamom in your spice cabinet, please give it a try. It's so good. But if not, I'll still be your friend, don't worry. All right, now I'm using turbinado sugar, sort of a raw sugar. So if you're using regular white sugar, it'll probably macerate a little bit quicker. So there we go, we have that, our filling together. Now I hope, oh no, my dish will be big enough. Okay, so I have my filling. We're gonna put that in our baking dish. So use whatever size baking dish you'd like or you have lying around. This is a 9-inch round that's about 2.5 inches deep. So I think it'll be the perfect size for this. But you can use a square one, you can use a pie plate. As long as you can get your filling in it, should be good. Now again, this is gonna really break down. So it's okay if I'm overfilling it as it cooks. There we go, okay. Beautiful. I'm just gonna fill in any cracks with my hands. And if there's any spare sugar on the bottom of the bowl, I'm just gonna sprinkle that on top. Okay, so now it's time to make our crumble topping. Now, crumble topping is so easy to make, I can't even tell you. All we're doing is we're combining our grain, which in this case is our Irish style oatmeal from Castle Valley Mills. It's not like rolled oats. If you have only like rolled oats or oatmeal, or like a regular oatmeal that you would make in the microwave, just cut it with some flour. So this is 1.5 cups of our Irish stone ground oatmeal. So I would maybe put 1/2 cup of rolled oats with a cup of flour, and you'll have a very similar effect. And then I have a couple tablespoons or a couple teaspoons of sugar in here. I'm gonna put a little bit more spice in as well. So just a little dash of my cardamom and a little bit of my Autumn Harvest blend. And then again, another pinch of sugar. I mean, a pinch of salt, my goodness. I'm so excited about making it dessert. I just have sugar on the brain. And then I'm gonna mix that together with my hands. Then I'm going to get about a quarter a cup of cold butter. Now this is almost cold butter. So it's 4 tablespoons. 4 tablespoons equals a quarter cup. So that's about right. And then all I'm gonna do is, so I have my butter in here, I'm just gonna start getting it coated with our filling, and then I'm just pinching the butter. And as I pinch the butter, it's gonna make smaller and smaller pieces. And the smaller pieces I get, the more homogenized the butter will become, and then the butter will be evenly distributed through our crust. So we're sort of aiming for a bit of like little, it should feel like sand if you were using just flour, or you just want to see, these are too big, these chunks, but you want sort of small chunks of butter all throughout your dish here. So, oh, it smells so good. I love the smell of oatmeal. I don't really love eating it as porridge, but I love using it in different cooking applications. So this is an oatmeal I can get around, get behind. Okay, so you see our chunks are getting smaller. So you have smaller chunks. Now I'm gonna add 2 spritz of cold water. I'm gonna mix it around. This is not a pastry dough, so it's not gonna come together that much. You just want it to stick together enough so that you can sprinkle it around. So see how it's like coming together but then falls apart? That's exactly how I like my crumble topping. Some people might have other opinions, but this is how I like to do it. So I'm just gonna sort of literally crumble it on top of my crumble. It's almost like a brown Betty, but with rhubarb. Okay, it's not a clean business. There we go. Make sure it's evenly distributed. And actually having a cover on it will help the fruit to sort of steam and cook and get soft while it's baking. So there we go. I think I've filled most of my crevices. Great. Perfect. Okay, I'm gonna rinse my hands off. All right, and there you have our crumble. I'm gonna pop it in a 400-degree oven for about 45 minutes until the top is nice and golden and the filling is bubbling up. Now, if you're worried about it overflowing in the oven, I would put a baking dish either underneath it or on a rack underneath it as well. So again, 400-degree oven for 45 minutes. All right, so I've had my apple and rhubarb crumble in a 400-degree oven for about 45 minutes. I actually let it go on another 5 minutes because the top wasn't quite golden enough. So let's check on it. Ah, it's perfect. Beautiful. There is our easy apple and rhubarb crumble. I wish you could smell this. It smells so good. And again, this was so easy to prep. We just chopped up our rhubarb or apple, tossed it with some spiced sugar, made our stone ground oatmeal crumble on top, and then popped it in the oven. How easy is that? Again, I'm Chef Diana from Lancaster Local Provisions. This is my weekly cook along, and happy cooking.